gentlemen, it is our privilege to welcome Falguni Nair and Anisha on the Global Leadership Summit stage. Thank you to the both of you for joining us here today. What we are now talking about is India's right to win. And Falguni, I'll start by asking you, because through the course of the day, we've heard many speakers here talk about why don't we have an answer to the US companies like Facebook and so on and so forth. With what you've been able to do with Nykaa, really creating an Indian-born platform, tech platform, what's your take on that? Are we on the cusp of being able to do that? Are we on the cusp of being able to move from an arbitrage economy to a product economy?
Yes, my answer would be yes. I think what I see is that in many of the digital businesses like e-commerce and others, we hear from our global partners that the technology that India is now offering is really ahead of what they see amongst a lot of digital retailers globally. So of course, I mean, I'm not talking about some of the retailers from US, but time and again, even from US retailers, we hear that the technology in India is quite sophisticated. So I think the investment in digital economy that we've seen over the last 10, 15 years definitely puts us in a good place. But, like the strength and size of the domestic market is important to dream big and to want to compete internationally. And that is just happening. Like, I think the way Sajjan said, I also feel that India is a young economy. And going forward, as the strength of our economy grows, you will see more ambition to go for the globe.
Well, you're a young company as well at Nykaa, but I know that we're starting to see the seeds of international ambition being sown. Over the next 10 years, Falguni, I'm not even saying 5, over the next 10 years, do you believe that international expansion is going to be a significant driver of growth for you?
I think what happens is that international is attractive, and especially GCC, where we've entered, and there could be more markets like that. However, India remains such a big opportunity that bulk of our energy and investment will continue to go in India. Actually, when we travel globally and you see the size of many of the countries and the economies, and India is a very large economy, and I think except for US and China, we don't understand. But, US, we may get tempted, but otherwise, India is a very sizable economy.
And the consumption cycle, at least to the market that you're catering to, has just about started to take off.
It's just about started to take off. There are high growth rates in India and abroad. So we remain very excited about discretionary consumption in India. And I personally feel that the coming decade could be one of the best for digital and retail in India. And with a combination of both, bringing to the consumer through personalization and all that technology can do, we remain very excited.
Do you have a number that you can leave us with in terms of where you believe the industry will be? Not just where Nykaa will be, but where you believe the industry will be on the back of the consumption boom that you're expecting?
I think there has been acceleration in beauty growth globally and also in India. And I think the best time for beauty is yet to come. And similarly, while in the really near term, it seems like physical retail is also moving ahead as strongly as digital, but the advantages of digital remain very strong, and I remain convinced about it.
Convinced about digital? She didn't give me a number. I'm going to come back and try my luck again. But Anish, let's talk about India's right to win. From a Mahindra Group standpoint, and you operate across different jurisdictions, you operate across different companies and different products as well as services. What will it take for India to truly start to eke out niches in the global market?
Shireen, I would argue that that has started to happen already. But for it to happen consistently and at scale, it starts with ambition. And there, what we are seeing is a vision for a Viksit Bharat that requires manufacturing to grow 16 times in the next 23 years. It requires exports to grow 11 times in the next 23 years. In order to make that happen, we need quality, ease of doing business, and a lower cost of doing business. And there are a number of initiatives that at FICCI we have been working with the government in terms of helping outline what will it take for industry to get there. And in terms of the progress we are seeing, the efforts we are seeing, they're all there. And we are very bullish, if I can represent the industry from a FICCI standpoint, as well as from a Mahindra standpoint, in terms of where we see India today and where it's headed.
Okay, so confident about where we see India today, but those are also fairly audacious targets, growing 16 times, growing 11 times. We just had Sajjan Jindal speak before the two of you, and his point is that as far as Indian manufacturing is concerned, he said we're not even pre-teen. We're still below pre-teen, far distance to go as to adulthood. I want to understand from you, what continue to be the key constraints on the manufacturing side, Anish?
Let me share some facts first, Shireen. If you look at the automotive industry, we are competing with all the global majors in India. Some have exited, some continue to stay, and Indian companies are actually doing extremely well. At Mahindra, we have tripled capacity in the last 4 years, and we still cannot keep up with demand. So I would argue that we are actually in a much better place
Than we were. Yeah.
If you look at the tractor industry, Indian companies make up 80% market share despite all the global companies being in India for the last 20 years. And therefore, there is something that's out there for Indian companies. There's a lot more R&D that's being done. We are developing our vehicles in India.
Yeah.
And we are developing vehicles that, from a quality standpoint, compete with the best in the world.
Yeah.
And I would just say wait for our electric vehicles.
Well, I think the wait for your electric vehicle is the anticipation. I think it is coming closer to the 26th of November when we'll hear more from you on the electric vehicles that you're launching.
That is right. So we will reveal them at that point in time. And we are very confident that they will stack up in quality versus anyone else in the world.
That's what I want to talk to you about. I think what we're also picking up at this point in time, and there's two different points of view, that one, India should open up, the other, that look, we need to protect Indian industry. What is your view? Do we need to impose import tariffs on the likes of Tesla as they look at entering the Indian market?
So first is that the Indian industry needs no protection. We've had no protection for the last 20 years, and that's made us better. If we had protection, we would not be having the quality that we have today. With regard to duties, there's a completely separate set of questions that needs to be asked, because the questions are around non-tariff barriers, along with tariff barriers, the inverted duty structures, and all of that need to be addressed together. And frankly, they should, because that will make Indian manufacturing a much stronger place.
So yes or no to tariffs?
I would say that it has to be done together, because if it is cheaper to manufacture cars outside India, then Indian companies will look at it and say, can we go outside India, put up a plant there, and then import into India? So it's a more complex topic from that standpoint, and therefore it is something that needs to be addressed, because we want to export to the world. And for that to happen, we need FTAs around the world.
FTAs is one thing, but what's the export ambition? I know when you and I spoke, you said that this is going to be one of the focus areas. It is going to be a key growth driver for the Mahindra Group over the next 5 to 10 years. What's the export ambition for you?
Very significant. In South Africa and Australia today, we have a 6 and 10% market share already. And there we hope to get to 20% and then go beyond that to ASEAN countries, to Europe and the US as well.
So how much will come in from exports as a percentage of revenue over the next 5 to 10 years?
Over the next 5 to 10 years, from a percentage standpoint, still smaller, because as Falguni said, the Indian opportunity is huge. And we are seeing just tremendous demand in India for our vehicles, which also in some ways constrains what we can send outside, because we are building capacity as fast as we can, and it's being used up, which is a great problem to have. So therefore, percentages-wise, next 5 years would still be lower, but as we look at a 10, 15-year horizon, I'd start expecting a much higher percentage of export.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Falguni Nair and Anisha. Thank you very, very much. We hope that you do take the right to win global, and we look forward to hearing more from you on that story. Appreciate you joining us here.